I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 163, Destruction Derby 64. Released in 1999, this game was developed by Looking Glass Studios and published by THQ. This is one I feel like I heard about back in the day, but I can't be sure. I've definitely never played it though. I feel like after the disaster that was that fishing game, this is exactly what I needed. Just driving cars around and ramming into each other. It's what people usually wind up doing in a racing game when they get bored anyway, right? I think this game's got some potential, but I guess we'll have to find out for ourselves. Let's get into it. The main single player mode in this game is the World Championship, so that's what we'll be doing to beat this game. There were 4 difficulties, but only Novice was accessible for now. There were several cars available with different stats in speed, acceleration, handling, and durability. It also could show you their front and back end strength. There were a bunch of cars I didn't have unlocked as well. The starting cars all had the same stats, which is a bit weird. So the first track was Seaside Sprint. Seaside Sprint.
Seaside Sprint.
It shows the rules for a match before starting. You gain points for colliding with someone, killing them, reaching a checkpoint, and you gain bonus time when you hit 30 points. I had to finish at least 8th place to advance. Into the race, very soon after we started, I got into a massive collision. Oh man, that sure was satisfying. The bottom right is my speed as well as kind of an indicator of my car's health. You might think with crashes like this you could easily flip over. Luckily, the devs thought of this and make you automatically flip back if it happens. A few minutes after driving, I blew up my first other car. Man, that explosion is chaotic. I have no idea how I didn't also die here. It seems when your health is all the way down, you still have a bit to go. I ended up dying right after that though, and the race ends shortly after this happens. It said I was in first place, so that's awesome. The next track was Metro Challenge. So the way these races work is you just kind of drive in a loop over and over. There's a time limit, but you can reach checkpoints to increase your time. There's not really any concept of laps, it just continues until everyone's dead or time runs out. Man, it is so satisfying to just blast into another car when you're both going at max speed. Like, it's hard to get tired of seeing that. The driving physics are kind of wild. If you hit a bump, you can kiss your car goodbye. I think that's the point though. It's not really meant to be some high-level driving game. Chaos is the point. I wound up dying when there were like 5 or 6 cars left, same as last time. I was in first place once again, probably because it's the Novice circuit. After that, it was the Junkyard. Now this is amazing. It's not a track, just a big arena where it's so easy to find another car to blast. Man, this is so much fun. I think the only downside to this place is it's harder to build up speed for a huge crash. Basically, there's not much you can do here other than either hide or just ram as many people as possible. I got 8th place here, not near as good as before. It seems these starting cars don't do as well in this type of run. Next track is Terminal Impact. I mean, other than the looks of each track, they play pretty much the same. I think it makes sense though. You don't want the track to have many crazy turns because that will just make it harder to run into someone. This one has us driving underneath a parked airplane. I'm sure they have races just like this in real life. When you destroy another car, it gets engulfed in flames. If you get stuck to them when you do it, well, this happens. Good luck trying to do literally anything when all that's on the screen. I died in first place once again. It was still quite easy so far. Then it was on to Destruction Junction. This one was kind of a hybrid of a racetrack and open arena. It's a figure 8 with a huge room in the center. It's pretty cool how everyone just crashes at the same time. I like how they line that up. Also, is it just me or does the puddle in the middle of this room make it look like there's a huge hole there? I thought I was going to fall into the abyss. The narrow hallways make it hard to get past the crashed cars when a lot of people have died. I went backwards into the last guy and there was no one left. To my surprise, it let me keep driving after this. I guess you can gain points from hitting checkpoints, so maybe they did it to allow you to increase your rank if everyone else is gone. Felt weird just trying to run the timer out. Apparently that was the last track because it popped up with a congratulations screen saying I got a gold medal on Novice. Alongside that, I unlocked the Street Rocket car. Now the amateur circuit was opened. Seems beating Legend will be the clear condition for this one. figured I may as well bring out the new car as well since it actually had some different stats. The first race was the same as the last circuit. I'll take this time to talk about the graphics and audio. I feel like the graphics are good enough. I'd say they look about average for N64. I don't think a game like this needs to look particularly amazing anyway. The game runs really smooth. It can lag a bit when a ton of cars collide at the same time, but I honestly think that gives the crashes a bit of character. The music is... it's okay. It's techno, but it's not really good techno. It feels like it was just made fairly quickly to me. When you hear something like Extreme G or Wipeout then hear this, it's quite a huge difference. There's a commentator who yells things out every so often, and he's pretty good. Feels like a voice you'd hear at a real monster truck rally. Anyway, back to the action. One of the CPU cars got stuck under a dead car, so I put it out of its misery. With this new car, I was destroying the computer on advanced. Basically, my car's durability skyrocketed from what it was before. The maps were the same on the next difficulty. A bit unfortunate, but at least you get the junkyard again. This place is amazing. There is no order, all anarchy. I got first place in all of these really easily. Here's some pretty satisfying crashes from the run, cause those are the best part. Oh my god. Who's gonna blow up first? Oh no, it was me. Yeah, I've got low front defense, but I've got very high front attacking, so it's... I think it's worth it to try to hit people head on. Oh my god, he just tackled me. We're in the NFL. After all those tracks was a new one, Aztec Ruins. This was another one of the open arena style ones, which was very welcome. Unlike Junkyard, this has a lot of ramps, so you'll see people flying through the air often. The outer edge is angled, so you can even drive along the wall, which is really cool. This is one of the best maps. After that was another new track, Midnight Rumble. This one has a lot of cool buildings lining the road. The track is dark, so you get to see the lighting effects of the game, which are pretty solid. The layout of this track's a bit different too. Rather than a simple loop, it's got several winding turns along the way. Luckily, the area you can drive in is thin, so it's still easy to find crashes. Then it was time for the last new track, Bayou Run. This one... hey, wait a second. That track layout is identical to the last one. They just reskinned it to look like Louisiana. I mean, I guess that's one way to add content to your game. Yeah, all these were super easy. I got yet another gold medal. I also unlocked the taxicab for use. No time to waste, on to the professional circuit. Driving is my new taxicab, of course. This thing had outstanding front offense and defense, and it showed. When there was barely anyone left, I had half of my health still. It's good for not losing, but it makes the end of a run quite boring. Well, I had to play all the tracks from the last circuit, and they were still really easy. So enjoy all these high-octane crashes. Well, after playing all those, I was finally greeted with a new map, Urban Mayhem. It's another demolition arena, basically completely open and it's all sloped downward to the center. I mean, at this point, you already know what's going on here. We're ramming into each other. This taxi was so tanky that I basically had no chance of losing any of these. And then finally, it was the last track of the professional circuit, Alpine Ridge. This one's a bit different in that there was ice on parts of the road, so you'd lose traction the instant you hit it. I think this snowfall effect made the game lag a little bit. Honestly, this is probably the least fun track because it's just impossible to control properly. After dominating everyone once again, I got another gold medal and unlocked the pickup truck. Last but not least, it was time for the Legend Circuit. Now, you may be thinking, oh, the last circuit, surely it's going to get really hard now. Nah, I was still dominating. Just the way the game works, you get so many points for running into people. Since I'm not an AI, I can always aim to crash into other people. They just kinda drive around randomly. In fact, since I was dominating so much, the game started to get a bit stale in a way. Even if I kill everyone, the race doesn't end. I had to wait for time to run out. Not to mention, hunting down the last few people can take quite a while on these racetrack courses. Anyway, I got first on all these easily. So here's some more satisfying crashes to enjoy. Well, after completely dominating, I reached a new track, Sunset Canyon. I'm assuming we're supposed to be in Las Vegas. I was honestly a bit bored of the gameplay loop at this point. I mean, it's not bad, but yeah. I had done around 30 or so of these in total now. The final level of this game is Ground Zero, the smallest of the arena tracks. This one seems like it could be modeled after a real-life location. It's quite fun when people are actually close to you rather than having to chase them down, you know? Anyway, I won the Legend Circuit by like 100 points, getting the last gold medal. It unlocked the ambulance for me to play as. You get a still image saying you are the champion, congrats, and then the credits play. The other cars you can unlock to play as are the Baja Buggy, Lowrider, Woody Wagon, Blue Demon, Ragtop, Hot Rod, Hatchback, and the police car. But yeah, that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it, my journey to beating Destruction Derby 64. I think this is a game that is definitely meant for multiplayer. Don't get me wrong, I had a blast ramming into all the other cars, but the single player mode can only be so entertaining. You just find yourself dominating even on Legend mode, not to mention all the time spent waiting around because you have several hundred more points than second place. I feel like this game could have done better leaning more into the arena style courses rather than the racetrack ones with checkpoints, but that's just my opinion. I still enjoyed my time with it. It's worth checking out if you have an N64, I think, especially if you have friends to play with. The graphics are decent and the music's alright. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 1 out of 10 for difficulty. Alright, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. 228 games on the list. Alright, here we are in whatever this place is. Everybody's here, even Jeremy McGrath's Supercross 2000 and Shogi. Goemon's Great Adventure. Paper Mario, Banjo. Let's see what happens. Alright, they are off. It appears the beaker is being heated up. I thought the marbles would bounce out of the beaker. I have no clue what is happening here. What is this? Oh, the beaker is going to be dumped into the funnel here. Appears an experiment is going down and splitting into multiple paths. I've never seen this track. This is crazy. Who is going to be in the lead? It appears you want to land in the middle. And I think NFL QB Club, an early leader, as well as Fighter's Destiny and Road Rash. We'll see who comes down here now. California Speed. I've literally never heard of that. I didn't know that was a game on the list. Let's go through this tunnel now. So many falling to their demise there. They didn't land in the tunnel. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 is gone. We will not be playing that. California Speed still getting through way ahead of the competition. I see Bust a Move as well as some sort of Japanese title. California Speed dominating. Earthworm Jim falls off. I'm pretty sure that game's garbage. Oh, and some marbles are here on the other side now. We got multiple paths. I didn't know this was here. Mortal Kombat Mario Tennis Ogre Battle. California Speed falls off. California Speed is gone. We got Mortal Kombat Super Smash Bros. Is gone as well. WCW NWO Revenge coming down. We're getting through these combs. And Shogi is in the lead. This would be a disaster if that gets selected, chat. Virtual Chess 64 as well. And who's going to come out here? Virtual Chess 64 somehow in the lead. WCW NWO Revenge right behind Virtual Chess 64. WCW NWO Revenge is coming down to the wire. And who's it going to be? Virtual Chess 64? And we're playing Virtual Chess 64. Oh my goodness. I thought we might be playing WCW NWO Revenge, but no. Virtual Chess. This might take a while, chat. The clear condition is defeat Magnus Carlsen at the Chess World Championship. We got to do a lot of practice. And there it is, folks. Virtual Chess 64. It has been decided. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you so much. If you had a good time, consider hitting that like button, or maybe even dropping a subscription. Or hey, maybe even watch another one of these videos that's on screen now. And yeah, see you next time.